If you're thinking of buying or selling in Santa Monica's 2022 real estate market, this, my friends, is a video you cannot afford to miss, as we're dialing in the numbers which are going to paint you a completely transparent picture of where this market is and where it's going. So keep it dialed in right here. We're comparing quarter one versus quarter two. Is it a still hot seller's market like we've been experiencing, or are the interest rates, inflation, and recession starting to have an impacting effect? We're about to find out right now, and a whole lot.
Moment, yeah, we got it. They cannot do what we doing. You see how we moving? We got it. Mess with the squad, you try to go against us.
Welcome back to the channel. Super stoked to have you joining me today. We're gonna go over what's going on in Santa Monica's real estate market 2022, what to expect right now, and what is going to come at you moving forward. But before we do, if you're joining me for the very first time, my name is Eric Haas. I'm a real estate agent here on the West Side with Sotheby's International Realty, and I'm more than happy to help you with any of your real estate endeavors. This channel is geared towards finding out what the tips and tricks are so you as a buyer and seller can be a total success no matter what market we're facing. Plus, we're gonna see exactly what the numbers are saying because, hey, the numbers don't lie and they paint a completely transparent picture of what this market is doing and where it's going. So we're about to get right into it, but before we do, if you haven't already, please like, comment, and make sure you're hitting that subscribe button because we're almost to 1,000 at 825 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all the support. We're trying to get over 1,000, so please help us make it happen. Let's get on into part one of 4. We're talking about the number of listings, number of pendings, and number of solds happening in Santa Monica, quarter 2 versus quarter 1. Let's jump right on into it. And right out the back, we see a 64% increase in the number of homes for sale, a giant jump in inventory in Santa Monica that hasn't been seen in quite some time since this market started getting on fire like it did right at the end of the pandemic. Now, as we're looking at it right now, there were 36 homes for sale in quarter 1. There are now 59. And that makes you kind of wonder, are buyers starting to kind of sit back and kind of wonder how this market is going to play out? Are interest rates impacting purchasing power and maybe buyers are looking elsewhere? Or is more of the same going to be coming for Santa Monica, and this just happens to be a current growth in the inventory that will be soon swallowed up? Let's find out as we look at the number of pending listings from quarter 1 to quarter 2. Not much of a change, 24 in quarter 1, 23 in quarter 2, a 4% decrease, nothing to really get concerned about. And much of the same goes for the number of sold listings, 56 in quarter 1, 54 in quarter 2, still a very strong, robust market in Santa Monica that doesn't really seem like it's going towards much of a buyer's market at this point. In part 2 of 4, we're looking at the median active price, the median pending price, and the median sold price for Santa Monica quarter 2 versus quarter 1 2022. And as you can see, not much of a change. In fact, a reduction in the median active price for Santa Monica from 4.5 million, an 8% drop, to 4.1 million in quarter 2, which is showing that sellers are being very smart about pricing their homes and getting it closer not only to that median pending price where you want to be, where homes are selling, but also to that median sold price where homes are actually closing out at the end of the day. Now, if we look at our median pending price, not much of a change, an actual increase though of 6%, 3.6 million being the median pending price for quarter 1. Now we jump up to 3.8 million being the median pending price for quarter 2. Again, kudos to those sellers pricing their homes smart. There still is buyer demand in Santa Monica. Interest rates are not necessarily having the impact that they are having in other said markets that we've done updates on, say Mar Vista and Venice as well. And if you haven't seen those, catch those in the playlist for the West Side quarter 2 2022 update. Now, if we're looking at the median sold, we actually see a 9% increase from 3.2 million being the median sold price for quarter 1 to now 3.5 million being the median sold price for quarter 2. So a very strong market still for Santa Monica, and a very strong one for sellers, and still having opportunity for buyers to get in there as well, as inventory seems to still be gobbled up. And I don't think that 59 listings is going to last too long. Into part 3 of 4, we are taking a look at the sold volume, the average days on market, and the sold price versus the list price. Now, as you can see right there, the sold volume has actually dropped 23% from 259 million in quarter 1 to now just at 200 million in quarter 2. So what does that mean? Well, buyers are still very much interested, as we've seen from the earlier parts that we've covered, but the inventory has come down a bit, and that could be attributed just to the homes that sell in Santa Monica, because you have to remember that homes in Santa Monica can start anywhere from the low twos and just the high ones all the way up to 100 million plus. So there are a lot of things that placate into that sold volume. So I'm not overly concerned. It's only a 23% drop. Let's move on to the average days on market, where we only see a drop by 1 day. That attributes to 2% drop, but it was 39 was the average days on market in quarter 1, and now 38 being the average days on market for quarter 2. So still a very strong market for Santa Monica. Nothing really showing that there is opportunity quite yet for buyers to capitalize on. Now, if we look at our sold price versus list price, that further supports it even further, as we see that 99% was the sold price versus list price in quarter 1. It has jumped 2% now to 101%, getting over that 100%, getting that value, and then above and beyond is now exactly where you want to be in Santa Monica. So still, like I've said, a very healthy seller's market going on in Santa Monica right now. Part 4, my favorite part, as we take a look at the number of homes that went over the asking, at asking, and unfortunately below the asking in Santa Monica, and comparing quarter 2 versus quarter 1 to see, are more homes selling under the asking price? Are more homes selling over the asking price? What's going on there? What can we expect? So as we take a look at the number of homes sold above asking for quarter 1 versus quarter 2, we actually see a 37% increase from 24 in quarter 1 to 37 in quarter 2. Now, what does that really mean for those respective quarters? Well, 24 accounts for 43% of the homes selling in quarter 1 sold above the asking price. Now, if we look at quarter 2, 61% of the homes sold above the asking price. So that is an increase of nearly 18%, which again just shows this strong market that continues to be invincible, so to speak, against this interest rate rise, recession, and inflation. Now, if we look at the number of homes that sold at the asking price, we see a little drop from 4 to 3. It accounts for 25% drop, but in reality, it's not that much at all. I mean, if we look at it, the number of homes at 4 for quarter 1 accounted for 7% of the homes selling at the asking price, whereas sold at asking for quarter 2 accounted for 6%. So it was only a 1% drop. Not much to worry about. As we look down below, though, we see the number of homes selling below the asking price. And in quarter 1, it was 28, and there's been no change in quarter 2 at 28. However, the 28 in quarter 1 actually accounts for 50% of the homes selling, while in quarter 2, that 28 accounts for 58% of the homes selling. So we have seen a nice rise in the number of homes that sold above the asking price, but also, unfortunately, number of homes that sold below the asking price. So yet again, though, my friends, it's going to show you that the market is speaking. As long as you price your home correctly, you're not going to have any worry about having to deal with a price reduction. In fact, you're going to have to be worrying about how many offers you get and still going over the asking price at the end of the day. But if you don't take my advice into consideration and feel like you can price it wherever you want, because it is still a hot seller's market we're experiencing, make sure you remember my words, because you will be enduring reductions, unfortunately, because buyers just have too much information out there and they're not looking to overpay, especially with interest rates rising and the purchasing power kind of dwindling a bit. Recession, inflation is not helping, but still a strong market in Santa Monica moving forward. And that could be the case for quarter 3 as well. So guys, I hope you found tremendous value in this video. We're looking to do Pacific Palisades next, but make sure you stick to the end, because we are going to share with you some homes that went extraordinarily over the asking price and some homes that unfortunately didn't follow the correct pricing strategy and went substantially under the asking price. If you guys ever need help buying or selling a home or an investment property here on the west side, more than happy to help you out. Again, Eric Haas at Sotheby's International Realty here on the west side of Los Angeles. Please make sure you like, comment if you've got ever any questions. Happy to answer them in the comments or even make a video about it. But please make sure also that you subscribe. I'm at 825 subscribers, looking to get over that 1,000 mark, and I know you can get me there as well. Thank you.